Y'all want to say hi to Edward?
Hey,
hi, Edward. Oh my goodness.
Everybody say hi. Tell him that you miss him. Yes. Okay. Okay, so look at number 6. Okay, look at number, well, he's going to be gone for 3 days, so it's a little bit longer. Okay, what do you need to do first? Okay, so separate. Y step to the left, X step to the right.
F off, bro.
Okay, so y squared is going to bring down here. Okay, Armando, you got to go. Sorry. Love you. Bye. So dy dx. Y squared sine pi x. So our separation, we're going to need to move this down here. Remember, dx is going to move up. So I'll have 1 over y squared dy. I'll have sine pi x dx. And then after I separate, what do I do next? Integrate. It's just a test. You're fine.
Oh, yes, first Wednesday of the month.
Yep. Okay, now look at the left side. Okay, is that, focus, is that going to be an ln? No, you need to rewrite. How can I rewrite it? Y to the what? -2. And so if I'm integrating y to the -2, just remember your power rule. You're going to add 1. What's that now? Y to the -1. And then what do I do with the new power? Divide. So if I divide by -1, it's just a minus in the front. Okay, other side. When I integrate sine of pi x, what method will you need to use? Use substitution. So if u is pi x, what does that make du, which is the derivative of pi x? Pi what? Dx. Very good. Then I need to solve for dx. So dx is going to be du with a pi on the bottom. So far, so good? Okay, let's rewrite our integral. So on this side, I'm going to have the integral of sine u du over pi. And what can we do with the over pi part? Pull that out to the front. So on this side, I'm going to write this as -1 over y, just to make that a little bit easier to look at. And then what is the integral of sine? Okay, 1 over pi. What's the integral of sine?
Cosine.
Negative cosine. Thank you. So negative cosine u plus c. Okay, next step. I'm going to have -1 over y equals negative cosine of u, which was pi x, over pi plus c. Okay, so I'm just going to take that 1 over pi and I'm just going to turn it into a fraction. Now, from here, remember that we talked about, okay, you are allowed to get y by itself. You don't have to. Sometimes it'll tell you have to, sometimes you don't. So from here, if I wanted to get y by itself, how could I get rid of this minus sign? Okay, yeah, it's because of that, I think. Okay, how can I get rid of the minus? What can I times both sides by? Okay, -1, so times by -1 here, times by -1 here. On the left, those negatives are going to cross out, and I just have 1 over y. On the right, what's going to happen to my negative on top? I'm going to have positive cosine pi x over pi plus c. Questions so far, or are we good? Good? Okay, how do I get y off the bottom? Okay, think about what would I need to do to that side? I would need to take its reciprocal, flip it. Okay, as long as you do the reciprocal on both sides, that's fine. So when I flip this side, it's now just going to be a y. And when I flip this side, it's now going to be a 1 over cosine pi x over pi plus c. Okay, and it's ugly, but remember, you're just flipping it. Now, that is the general solution. How do I get to the particular solution? Plug in your point right here. Very good. It says up here that 1/2 comma pi fourths is our ordered pair. That means that pi fourths needs to be the answer when I plug in 1/2. So 1 over cosine of pi times 1/2 plus c over pi. Okay, now let's deal with this little part first. If I have pi times a half, what is that?
Half pi.
Half pi, very good. And what is the cosine of pi over 2? Cosine of pi over 2? 0, very good. So what's 0 divided by pi? Still 0. So what I have now is that pi fourths equals 1 over c. Well, remember what we said. When you're solving, if you do the reciprocal on one side, you just have to do it on both sides. So if this is 1 over c, flip it. What is c? 4 over pi. Very good. And that would be your constant. That would make that a particular solution. So I'm going to rewrite up here. Let's see, this was our general solution. So our particular solution would be y equals 1 over cosine pi x over pi plus 4 over pi. And that would be your final answer. Okay, ugly, but you can do it. Okay, turn to the first question on your yellow sheet. Okay, which should now be attached to your notes.
Why is it yellow?
Just so that I would be able to find it and tell you which one to staple. Okay, next one, look at number 7. Okay, first question. It asks you to write the equation of a tangent line at 1, 5. What two things do you need to do an equation of a tangent line?
Point slope.
Point and the slope, very good. What's my point?
1, 5.
1, 5. How do I find my slope?
Plug it into the thingy.
Very good. Remember that dy dx is your slope. So if you want the slope at a specific point, you just plug that point in. Now notice that here, my dy dx at 1, 5, I'm only going to end up using one of those values. Which value will I be plugging in? Only the 5. So what is 4 times 5? 20. From there, write the equation of the tangent line. So here's our point right here. Here's our slope. What will my equation be? Y minus 5 equals 20x minus 1. Very good. Part B, solve for the particular solution given that it passes through 1, 5. Okay, first question, what needs to move when I separate? Jonathan, put it up. Okay, the y, very good. Now, if the y is on the top, where will it be when I cross it over to the other side?
Is that x times 1 or x minus 1?
That's x minus 1. Okay? So if I have dy dx equals 4y, I'm going to need to divide by y to cross it out. And then technically, do I need to move the 4? Okay, does 4 have an x or a y? No, I'm moving the y, but I'm going to leave the 4 right there. So then I'm going to take my dx and times it up here. So I now have this 1 over y dy. That's exactly right, equals 4 dx. What do I do from there? Huh? Oh. What do I do on both sides now? Separate, then? Nope. Integrate, right? What is the integral of 1 over y? ln y. Very good. Technically, it's ln absolute value y. What is the integral of 4 with respect to x? 4x. Very good. Plus c. From here, remember, we want to get y by itself. How can I undo a natural log?
Times it by e?
Not times it by e, but make it a power on e. So I'm going to apply an e as a base on both sides. So my e and my ln cross out. I have y equals. And on the other side, I have e to the power of 4x plus c. Now, when you are in pre-calc, okay, you should have talked about that if you are adding exponents, that means that really you're multiplying bases.
Yeah.
So you could rewrite this
E
as
to the 4x
times
e to the c.
perfect. And remember what we said about c. Since we don't know what c is, e to the c, we're just going to continue to call c. That's just a new c value. So the way that we're going to write this, whenever you have a plus c in an exponent, is you're going to write it like that. Okay, the reason why is because when you separate these, this is just now a new constant, and since we don't know what it is, we're just going to continue to call it c. So this is going to be your general solution. Yes? Okay, so then what is our point that we're going to use to solve? What's our ordered pair? 1, 5. So 5 is the answer when we plug in 1. Okay, well then really that's just e to the 4. So if 5 is c e to the 4th, how do I get c by itself?
E to the
These are multiplied.
E times.
Divide. Very good. So I'm just going to divide by e to the 4 over here. So then c is going to equal 5 over e to the 4th. So what will my equation be?
Y equals
5 over e to the 4th times e to the 4x. And that would be your particular solution.
that's too much.